All right, guys, let's do this. This is the Bulletproof Handyman method. It is guaranteed to make you $600 a day every single day if you follow these instructions. It is not easy. It is not convenient. You are going to break your back and you're going to work harder than you've ever worked in your entire life. But if you do this, you will be making six figures a year doing handyman work. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do this or that it's not possible, because if you notice, all of those people telling you that you can't do this, they haven't even tried. So give it a shot, and I promise you, you can provide a very good living for your family if you just follow this method. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to forget completely about portfolio quality, highfalutin jobs for rich people. That's really nice if you can get there, and maybe you will get there someday, but you don't get to just jump into a handyman business and suddenly be handyman to the rich. So we're going to focus on actual work. We're going to make an actual business to do the work that needs to be done and to do it profitably. Now, step one is going to be to treat yourself like a real business and get yourself an LLC and insurance. You are not bulletproof if you're a sole proprietor where people can come after you and your personal assets if something goes wrong on a job. And you're not bulletproof if you have an accident on the job and you don't have insurance and now you're getting sued and you owe money for the rest of your life because you didn't want to pay 50 or $100 a month for insurance. So get your LLC, get your insurance. There's links in the description for that if you don't already have preferred providers. The next thing you're going to do is make a list of all of the jobs that you know how to do and that you have the tools for. If you're not sure where to start, go to the bottom of the description of this video and click on the link for my free business documents. I have a sample list for you that you can just go through and check yes or no and then make your own list. Next thing you're going to do is set your trip fee at $125. And to a lot of you, this seems a little bit high. It is a little bit high. But if you're in or near any major city in the United States of America, a $125 trip fee is not out of the question for a property manager who really needs somebody to work on their properties that can do it reliable and do it the right way every single time and keep tenants off of their back. Now that you've got your jobs list and your trip fee, you've got your insurance, you're an LLC, you're all set up as a business, you're going to put together packages to pitch yourself to property managers, and you're going to go to every property management company you can find until you get yourself some property managers. You're going to go in person, you're going to introduce yourself, smile, be well groomed, present your services and your pricing to them, and you will eventually get enough of them to start keeping yourself busy. Now, this work is not fancy work. This is all toilets, faucets, minor plumbing leaks, blinds, door stops, doorknobs, deadbolts, all the basic stuff. But guess what? They need people who can get that done. And if you can be the guy who gives it to them, they are a bottomless well of work. They never stop giving you work. Imagine a printer on the wall behind me printing out tickets, just printing out work orders. And every time you complete one, it just prints out another one. You will be knee deep in work for the rest of your life if you can do a good job for property managers, and you'll be charging a good rate for it. Now, once you've got your business formed, you've got your property managers, you've got your trip fee set, you've got work rolling in, you're just going to kick butt on every single job. You're going to make your number one priority in life, day in and day out, to make sure that every tenant gets contacted, every job gets scheduled, every job you show up to on time, clean, professional, ready to go, and you're going to impress the heck out of all of your property managers until they only want to send work to you. And then once your schedule is so full you don't know what to do with it, you're going to start trimming the fat. And this is all about time management. There are three things that are going to suck up all of your time and make you less efficient. And the less efficient you are, the less money you make. Those three things are inventory, scheduling, and admin work. Now, you might be wondering, how important is inventory? Well, I'll tell you how important. When you're doing what we're talking about doing right here, your time is valued at over $100 an hour. If it takes you 1 hour to go to Home Depot, find the product you need, purchase it, and get back to the job site, and your time's worth $100 an hour, then that hour you just spent is $100. And if you do this 5 days a week, that's $500 a week. That's $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. So yes, you do need an inventory. I can't tell you what inventory you need to have because it's going to be different in different regions of the country. But you should be paying attention to every single item that you have to go to Home Depot or Ace Hardware for and making a list. And when you start noticing the things that you buy very frequently, start buying 2 at a time, start buying 3 at a time, and start keeping them in an inventory with you, because every single time you show up to a job and you already have what you need without going to Home Depot, you just saved yourself that hour. And that hour you saved means you can now do an additional job that day that's going to take you less than an hour to do. And you can start scheduling yourself more and more tightly. Which brings me to scheduling. Scheduling is the next one. If you schedule yourself all over town with no rhyme or reason to anything, you're going to spend half your day driving. You're going to spend 2 to 3 hours a day just driving back and forth from one side of town to the other because you didn't learn how to schedule. This, believe it or not, is going to be a gigantic part of how you run your business. It's going to take up at least 25%, if not 30% of your total hours that you spend working just getting all of the scheduling done. You're going to need a CRM to help you out with all of this to track it. You're not going to be able to track this quantity of jobs on paper and spreadsheets. So you're going to need a CRM. I've been using Jobber for 4 years, and I attribute my success almost wholly to having used Jobber to keep me organized so that I could focus on all the other things that I focus on. There is a link in the description to get a free 14-day trial and 20% off for your first 6 months. But you can try other versions if you want. It doesn't have to be Jobber, but get yourself a CRM and learn how to use it and learn how to use it well. It will save you an hour or two per day on admin work. And again, if your time is worth $100 an hour and you can save an hour a day, 5 days a week, that's $24,000 a year. And lastly, in terms of trimming the fat and getting efficient, you're going to need to get very efficient at your admin work itself. You don't want to have to sit down and think through every job and hand type everything up. Whether you're using Jobber or a different CRM, you want to start making custom line items for every job that is repeatable and predictable so that all you have to do is click it, add the quantity, and move on to the next thing. Now you can download mine. If you do have Jobber, you can download my custom line items that I actually use day by day in my handyman business. You can download them. And if you have Jobber, you can upload them directly into your Jobber account. And your Jobber account will now have all of my custom line items. You can also get that by going to the description all the way at the very bottom, clicking on the link for my free documents, download it, go into Jobber, and upload it into your Jobber account. So once you've got all these efficiencies worked out and you've really started trimming that fat, there's no reason you can't do 5 jobs a day, 5 days a week. Now, 5 jobs a day at a $125 trip fee is $625 a day. And the truth is, a lot of those jobs are not going to be $125 trip fees. They're going to be $150, $165, $185, maybe even $200, especially if it's electrical or plumbing or anything that's very involved that requires very much skill. But let's say you're at $125 trip fee per job. You do 5 per day. That's $625 per day, which is $3,125 per week, which would be $156,000 a year. And out of that $156,000 a year, even after taxes and overhead, you're keeping 100 of that. You're at 6 figures as a handyman, as a guy who's fixing toilets that won't stop running, hanging blinds, replacing faucets, doorknobs and deadbolts, all that simple work. You can be 6 figures per year right away, like within 6 months of getting all this started. If you pound the pavement, if you commit yourself, if you give it everything you've got within 6 months, there is zero reason that you're not at 6 figures per year every single year. And it only goes up from there. So what do you do once you get to that spot? Well, once you get efficient and you are knocking out those 5 jobs a day, you're going to quickly figure out ways to get it up to 6 jobs a day, sometimes even 7 jobs a day. You're going to figure out how to start trimming more fat, like not accepting jobs that are less profitable from your property managers, or by making yourself even more valuable to your property managers on the more profitable jobs so that you incentivize them to want to send those to you. You're going to start doing move outs. The move outs, once you're really good at all this stuff and you do have your inventory and you do have your processes, those move outs can give you $1,000 days very, very easily. Make sure you're in a state where you are allowed to do $1,000 on one property. Every state's different if you don't have a contractor's license. And then, of course, the next step, get your contractor's license. That's going to open up new opportunities to you for clients who will not allow anybody to work on their property without that license. And that license comes with essentially what you could call permission to charge a premium, because now you're going to be bonded and licensed, which means that it's safer for certain people to hire you to work on their houses. They are more covered by knowing that you're bonded and licensed because they have avenues that they can take for retribution should you try to screw them over. But you're not going to try to screw them over. You're going to do solid work. You're going to behave like a businessman day in and day out, and you're going to build up an extremely strong clientele, and you're going to quickly find that you are inundated with work, so much so that you can't raise your prices without gouging. So your only choice for getting all that work done is either going to be to fire clients or hire employees, at which point you start making even more money because whether you're subcontracting or hiring a W-2 employee, if you're putting them on the right jobs and if you're charging the right rates, then they're out there making money for you while you're out there making money for you. Very quickly, this should be rampable up to the point where you don't have to go out and do so much of the work anymore, and you're now a legit business owner. Your job is now to steer a ship, and the ship is a money-making ship, and there's no reason that you or any other capable man in the entire United States cannot make this happen. So this is the bulletproof method. It's all about giving up on all that fancy stuff and starting to build a business by looking at it as a business. You find a need that needs to be filled. You figure out the best way to fill that need. You niche down to the clients that have the most work for you, and you just pound that pavement and commit yourself every single day, day in and day out for a few years, and you're going to find yourself in a very comfortable position. Now, I want to remind y'all, in the description of this video, I've got all kinds of links for all the products and services you're going to need. And at the very bottom of the video description, you're going to find that link for my documents, all my free documents. There's a lot of valuable stuff in there. There are no paywalls on this channel. I don't want your money. I will not take your money. I want to help you run your business effectively. And if you want to help me, you just simply click my links, comment, like, subscribe, engage with the channel. But this is how you do it, guys. Take yourself from that $25 an hour, $20 an hour, $18 an hour construction job, factory job, whatever it is you're doing. Stop working to make other people's dreams come true and start working to make yours come true. So with all that being said, I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it, or at least soon will be, and I'll see you on the next one.